Hey, people don't go to my space, talk about it differently. My name is Luis, Dr. Luis Apiakubi. So you probably have heard about stigma when it comes to mental health, right? Let's talk a little bit more about that. I guess the dictionary definition, when it comes to stigma, it refers to attitudes and beliefs that lead people to reject those they perceive as different. So when it comes to mental health stigma, those attitudes are influenced by what we know about mental illness, which oftentimes isn't accurate, cultural stereotypes, spirituality, media stories, and the way movies and shows portray people who are mentally ill, and then in some cases even some institutional practices. Those are some of the things that influence our beliefs and that makes us shun people that we have heard or feel that they may have one mental health issue or another. And whether it be those of us, perpetuating the stigma, or the people on the receiving end of the stigma, or even the observer, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that stigma. So then, hey, if you're dealing with anything, you're not even mentioning it to anybody, right? So we avoid talking about mental health things, we delay it. In some cases, don't even bring that conversation over here. We don't do that stuff. That's for, those other people. Obviously, we have to do things differently. We have to do better. Let's talk a little bit also about the kinds of stigma. Research knows 3 types of stigma. There is the institutional stigma, there is the public stigma, and then there's the self-stigma. Institutional stigma, of course, would be things that institutions typically do that tends to discriminate against people with mental health related things. Public stigma, again, goes back to what's out there in the news and what people are saying about mental health. But when you've heard and experienced all of those things, you internalize it. And then there is self-stigma. So when you are going through something, you're stigmatizing yourself. So you're either finding every reason to believe that it's not a mental health related thing. So then of course you're not getting help. Or if it is in fact a mental health related thing, you don't want people to know about it. So then once again, you're not getting help. Right? So of course we should all do better to help combat some of these things, to make it a little easier for people dealing with mental health related things to seek help. I think the number one thing that we all can do is to watch what we say with people close to us. Oftentimes we say things loosely, so for example, you're watching a show and you hear that this celebrity died by suicide. You're hanging out with your friends and you go, well, what do they have to worry about? What the hell, you have all of this life and then you just go and do this? That's just lame. You think you're talking about the celebrity. You think it has nothing to do with anybody in the room because, your friends couldn't possibly be dealing with mental health related things. But because the research says 1 in 5 people, right? 1 in 5 people is dealing with a mental health related thing, chances are one of your friends is. So if you're consistently speaking this way, then your friend is consistently avoiding, delaying, and for sure not talking to you about it, even if you could potentially be helpful. All right, so for today, the challenge I put to you is please watch what you say, watch your actions, and challenge yourself to not be a driving force behind mental health stigma. A driving force to make it worse, right? Now let's do the opposite, right? Let's put more light on it. When you see videos like these, post them so people would get a little bit more information and knowledge about stigma, and then we can all beat it and get to a point in life where mental health stigma isn't even a thing, so that when you say you're going to therapy, there are no eyebrows raised, like, okay, all right, I'll see you later. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.